In the mid-20th century, we began launching satellites into space that would help us determine the exact circumference of the Earth, 40,030 kilometers. But over 2,000 years earlier in ancient Greece, a man arrived at nearly that exact same figure by putting a stick in the ground. That man was Eratosthenes, a Greek mathematician and the head of the Library of Alexandria.
Well, I don't think so. Who is Eratosthenes? There's nothing that proves that this guy ever existed. There's no sculptures, there's no paintings, there's no written form, there's no scrolls. There's nothing that proves that this guy ever existed. It's just a fancy story.
Eratosthenes had heard that in Syene, a city to the south of Alexandria, no vertical shadows were cast at noon on the summer solstice. The sun was directly overhead. He wondered if this were also true in Alexandria, so on June 21st he planted a stick vertically in the ground and waited to see if a shadow would be cast at noon. It turns out there was one, and it measured about 7 degrees. Now, if the sun's rays are coming in at the same angle at the same time of day, and a stick in Alexandria is casting a shadow while a stick in Syene is not, it must mean that the Earth's surface is curved. And Eratosthenes probably already knew that. The idea of a spherical Earth was floated by Pythagoras around 500 BC and validated by Aristotle a couple centuries later. If the Earth really was a sphere, Eratosthenes could use his observations to estimate the circumference of the entire planet. Since the difference in shadow length is 7 degrees between Alexandria and Syene, that means the two cities are 7 degrees apart on Earth's 360-degree surface. Eratosthenes hired a man to pace the distance between the two cities and learned they were 5,000 stadia apart, which is about 800 kilometers. He could then use simple proportions to find the Earth's circumference. 7.2 degrees is 1/50th of 360 degrees, so 800 kilometers times 50 equals 40,000 kilometers. And just like that, a man 2,200 years ago found the circumference of the entire planet with just a stick and his brain.
"800 kilometers, they say. Let's see about that. Google Maps. Alexandria. So, Alexandria, and let's just move that out a little bit. Let's find Syene. So, as the crow flies, just move that around that. As the crow flies, we'll place that one on Alexandria, and let's have a look. That's Syene there. That one there. Just make sure that's in the right place. A bit further. As you see, that's 840 kilometers. Not 800 kilometers, 840. Okay, there is a problem with that. The problem is that what about all the valleys and the hillsides and the mountains? I mean, and the Nile. So they didn't have aeroplanes in them days, 250 years BC. So they didn't have aeroplanes. So let's ask Google, let's do directions, because they couldn't have done 840 kilometers because you would need an aeroplane to do that, wouldn't you? Okay, so let's, because I think the directions from Google would be a lot better than Eratosthenes saying to some Alexandria fella who lives there, you know, like, go and walk off to Syene and I'll give you directions, you know, it's over that way. I'm sure Google Earth could do a lot better. So there you go. I'll just reverse them. So as you can see, we've got here 1,000 kilometers. Oh, this route includes a ferry. Oh, let's take the ferry. We didn't have ferries in them days. So obviously there's a ferry crossing. Let's take the ferry away. Avoid ferries. 1,014 kilometers. Okay? 1,014 kilometers. Okay. Okay, so there we have. So let's put up 1,014 kilometers times 50 equals 50,700 kilometers. Okay, so let's just do quick kilometers to miles. What did we just say? We just said 5,700. So 5,700. So there you go. The new circumference of the Earth, according to Google Maps, will be 31,503 miles. Not your 24,900 miles. That's according to Google Maps, who I think would probably do a better job navigating from Alexandria to Cyan than what Eratosthenes could do. It's just an opinion, but I think Eratosthenes is a liar. Keep preaching education. I'm sure you know what you're doing. Teach the kids more lies, but I'm not buying it.